今回のテーマは金子さんのダンスです。金子さんは秀樹の本のためにダンスを踊ってくれました。最初に金子さんの紹介をさせてください。私が教えているカレッジで、金子さんも教師をしています。彼女に申し出たところ、快く引き受けてくれました。私はダンスで、妖怪を表現するように希望しました。そして自分で短いデモビデオを作って見てもらいました。金子さんはそれを見てイメージを膨らませたようです。妖怪としては、メギツネ、化け猫、手の目になりました。詳しいダンスの内容は私は分からなかったので、すべて金子さんに考えてもらいました。それで実際に永田神社で撮影することになりました。永田神社は神戸にある、古い神社です。
うんうん。
永田神社は秀樹の本の話を聞いて非常に興味を持ってくれました。そして快く許可してくれました。
すごいそれね。長田神社は、1800年
うん、
ぐらい。
そうでしょうね。かなり
うん。
古いですね。
Amazing.
で、実際に撮影に入ったわけですが、金子さんのダンスは驚くべきものでした。素晴らしいものでした。それをご覧になって、まず AJ はどう思いましたか？
I was blown away. I thought she was just wonderful. She has such presence. So she's so alive and energized and dynamic. And I thought that the choices of what she was doing within the dances captured the yokai really perfectly, beautifully.
Yes, very, very energetic.
Yeah, and working and working within such a confined
うん、
space, but still conveys this sense of power and grace and elegance.
うん、
本当にかっこいいね。
うん、
Mm.
プロフェッショナル。
Very, very professional. Yeah. I have worked with dancers before. I am always amazed at the way they live in their bodies.
うん、
I do not live, do not live in my body.
no.
I live in my head.
Do you dance?
No.
OK。私が面白いと思ったところは、彼女は妖怪の世界に入っていくというイメージで、作ったことです。つまり、私たちの世界とは別に妖怪の世界があって、そこに入っていくということです。
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too.
金子さんは永田神社に対しても敬意を払いました。そして妖怪に対しても敬意を払いました。ですから最初にお辞儀をしました。
Mm.
それはどう感じましたか？
Yeah, yes, I noticed that immediately. The respect
う
that
ん、
she shows to the shrine, but also to that sense of a different spiritual world, as if we're entering a gateway, passing through something into another world, like going through a torii or something, right? That takes us into a sacred space or a
Yes.
world where other beings live. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So, mm, so it's beautiful.
うん。
Mm.
Big, 鳥居。 ええ。
Yeah. Yeah.
そして妖怪の世界に入っていくときに、少し SF 的なものがあって、時空が歪んで、その時空を覗き見るという動作がありました。これは面白いですね。
Mm-mm. Yeah. Yes. It feels like a portal,
うん。
right? And as you said, that you're looking through something different. It's like isekai, ne? Isekai? Is that the
異世
word?
界。Yes.
Yeah.
異世界。
Um, where you're sort of passing into an alternate reality or a different, a parallel universe, maybe in sci-fi
うん。
terms, um, but which coexists within or adjacent to our own reality.
う
I
ん。
think this is part of what I find fascinating about Japanese yokai, that sense of their presence alongside the human, which is very different from folklore elements in the West.
Do you think Tori is a portal? Do you think portal is this?
Kind of, right? I mean, I think it's a marker of a separate
う
space, a
ん。
sort of not magical, but a sacred space, maybe a point where the connection between realities is thin.
うん。
Do you know what I mean? So that it's easier to pass through into the world of the spirits or
うん。その妖怪というものに対して、モンスターというものに対して、日本人が考えるイメージと西洋のイメージは違うんでしょうか？それはどう思いますか？
yeah, I do. I was thinking about this last night, and I think that part of it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in Japan, it seems like there is an acceptance of a spiritual world which has been around as long as people have been around, which is, as I say, next to the world in which we live. In the West, I think it's about religion. I think religious history is different because, you know, the yokai that we're talking about are commemorated in shrines,
うん。
in Shinto shrines in Japan, which makes them part of the culture and the religion of the present day, right? As it has been for thousands of years. But that's not how it is in the West. In the West, monsters, ghosts have been pushed into strictly into fiction, not into reality. They're reserved for children's stories and ghost stories and things like that. But they're not things that people believe in. They're not things that people accept as part of their own reality because for 1500 years, Christianity has so dominated the West, and Christianity has no space for monsters.
うん。
Demons, maybe in some form of afterlife, but the idea of spirits or monsters, yokai, bakemono, any of that kind of thing, there's no space for that in Christianity. And
うん。
Christianity has dominated so much that you know those things are just not part of life. So if you have a story about with monsters in it, um, it's it's very clearly fiction. Maybe it's a children's story, maybe it's a fantasy or sci-fi story, or the monster becomes something real, like the shark in Jaws. You know the movie Jaws, yeah?
Yeah.
Which where the shark functions as a monster, as a almost like a kaiju, right? But it's a shark.
うん。
This is how we process monsters in the West, I think, because we have no headspace. the idea of living next door to monsters
うん。
is not something that we can think of. Have you seen the movie Destiny? Like, I don't know the Japanese title. It was called Destiny: A Tale of Kamakura.
うん、no.
No.
知ら
And it's a married couple who move to Kamakura and they go out at night and it's full of yokai
うん。
because it's Kamakura and it's a magical, mystical place where people and yokai live side by side. That's a very alien idea
う
in the
ん。
West.
Oh, I see. もちろん妖怪にも良い妖怪もいれば悪い妖怪もいるんですけれども、基本的には妖怪の世界に入るために敬意を払うという意味ですね。これは面白いと思いました。
Yeah, I think so too. And I think your distinction that there are good and bad yokai is also very different from the West. That for the most part, we struggle to translate the word yokai,
うん。
right? People always say demon or something. It's like, but demon doesn't work because in the West, demons are always evil because they're demons.
お
But yokai are not necessarily
Yes.
evil, right? So even I think this is an interesting problem for a translator
うん。
because the cultural association is different, and so we struggle to understand. But yes, to bow to the world of the yokai, I think is appropriate, and I love the way she does that. Mm.
秀樹の本の中でも、のっぺらぼうは必ずしも悪い妖怪とは言えないですよね。面白い妖怪ですよね。
You can hear the translation thing struggling.
Yes.
Um, Yeah, the Nopperabo was maybe the first Japanese yokai that I read about
うん。
when I was quite young. Because we'll talk about this another time perhaps, but I found it through the Lafcadio Hearn's Kwaidan, and he has a Nopperabo story there, though he calls it Mujina,
う
which
ん。
is, of course, a different animal. So,
うん。
mm.
なんとなく感じるのは、日本では妖怪が身近にいるように思います。私たちの日常生活の近くに妖怪がいるように感じます。
Yeah, I think, in the book, one of the things that I wanted to include is the teapot that is animated. And Bachan says, well, this happens sometimes, things that are connected to people are infused with a kind of animistic
うん。
energy. They become alive somehow. And of course, this is a very foreign concept to people in the West. But I think that you're right. It's about that proximity, the idea of the familiarity that we are living next door to yokai, and that especially with shape-shifting yokai,
う
we
ん。
could be living next door to a kitsune or a tanuki who looks like us. I love that idea. It's such a great idea. And it's such a perfect metaphor for not knowing what's going on inside people. They might not be what you think they are. I love that idea.
金子さんのダンス動画とは別に、ダンスの振り付けを解説した動画もあります。その解説動画を見て、ダンスを覚えてもらうために作ったのですが、その解説動画については、AJ はどう思いましたか？
I think I think it's wonderful to see her walk through the thought process of how these things are constructed. And of course, everything she says is perfectly clear because you can see it. You can see, the fox's tail. You can see the paws of the bakeneko. Right. Everything she says, it makes it perfectly clear. I still couldn't do it.
Yes.
I, I don't move like that.
I can't do it too.
But uh, I love to watch artists work, and I love to watch the way that they dream up these wonderful things and show you how you do them. And part of the magic is that, yes, I'm sure there will be people who will copy these dances and will be able to do them, and that's great. But part of the magic for me is that no matter how many times she explains it, I will not be able to do it. There are moments when and I'm like, yeah, if I slow it down and I listen to her explanation, I can sort of understand what she's doing, but I still don't really understand. In my body, I don't understand.
特に手の目は難しいですね。
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. But also, like, there are moments when she comes close to the camera and her body does this sort of shake, this very high, and I'm like, what is that? It's like some sort of electric charge going through. I can't do that. 全然できない。
同じです。金子さんのダンスで、妖怪というものに興味を持ってもらったら、秀樹の本が身近に感じてもらえると思います。
Thank you, Kaneko-san. 素晴らしい。
素晴らしい。
うん